Previously on Mine.
Oh, hey Natalie, I just wanted to introduce you to someone.
And he started toward her and tried to force himself on her. She grabbed her stapler and hit him. Poisons always fascinated Natalie. She liked how quickly or slowly it could cause death. She secretly wished she poisoned her good-for-nothing father and watched him as the life drained out of him. She had read about different types of poison found in nature like oleander, a very common plant found in her neighborhood growing up. It looked like poison ivy, and behind her mother's garden was the plant in all its glory. She also read about common household items that were very poisonous like thallium, which was found in camera lenses. A few scrapes of that could cause instant death if ingested and was untraceable in her lab. When she got home, she got gloves from her first aid kit, got her camera, got a knife, and gently scraped a thin film of glass from the camera lens into a ziploc and put it inside her work purse. She knew that the office temp was the one who got her boss's coffee each morning, and the temp agency rotated the people who got the job each week. She also knew most of the girls had complained about how much of a pig he was, so they only sent men nowadays. She would wear a low cut top to distract the man they sent come Monday, so she could put the thallium in his coffee and watch him die from her desk. She cursed out loud as she dabbed her bruise with hydrogen peroxide. She'd have to cover it with makeup on Monday. Natalie wasn't one who cared about showing cleavage, but she needed to be able to hold a man's attention. She carefully chose her most padded push-up bra and a very low cut top and a tight skirt to go with it, and made sure she had a thallium nearby. She couldn't wait to get it over with so she could finally think of a way to kill off Tiffany, because she was convinced that Derek loved her after the lunch date. She hadn't really talked to him since that day. There's a couple of text messages between them, and she hadn't been to the frozen yogurt place either, but she had bought tickets online for an Avengers panel that was coming to town. On her way to work, she stopped to get coffee and reapplied her makeup. When she got to the office, she found a new temp standing next to his car scrolling through his phone. He was holding one cup of coffee. That meant her plan was going to be easy. She felt her pulse to make sure she had a thallium, and she felt a surge of adrenaline course through her body. Then she approached him and struck up a conversation. Whilst they were talking, she intentionally spilled coffee all over her breast, and the temp, although excited to see this mess, offered to get her tissues from his car. Whilst he fumbled for his car keys, she obstructed his view of the coffee and got to work while conversing with the temp. She quickly poured a thin film of thallium into the slit of the coffee cup and allowed it to settle. She didn't need to stir it, and that was the beauty of it. Although she didn't ask who the coffee was for, she was proud of the work she had done, and if the temp himself died, well, that was one less pig of the streets. After she cleaned herself up, she said goodbye to the temp and went to her office. When she got to her desk, she saw him through the window, that disgusting man who tried to rape her. He tried to look away as his hand immediately going to the part of his face a stapler hit, and then it happened. The temp walked into the office and handed him the coffee. He shouted a lot of obscenities at him and dismissed him. And then she watched him take a big gulp of coffee, and then another, and then another. And suddenly, he fell to the ground, dropping the coffee cup and the rest of its contents on the carpet. She relished the moment for a while and then started screaming. Some of the other girls from different offices rushed in and called 911. When the ambulance came in, they said what Natalie already knew, that he was dead, and although Natalie had tears in her eyes, she was truly happy.